Okay, well, good evening, Miss Nisa.
Good evening, sir.
So we have the subject evaluation today. Maybe please you open translation first for pre-basic one.
Translation? Oh,
Yes, I have open actually. Translation.
nothing. You haven't opened.
No, I have open Miss. You open Word. Don't
Oh,
say nothing.
oh yeah, yeah. Can-
Page 66, right? You said present perfect over here.
Oh yeah, 60. This one, sir.
Yeah, please explain.
First is because this one is pattern B. I go with again. I review again. What is the difference between pattern A and pattern B? Then, if they have explained what is the differences, and then I make a conclusion like, okay, then pattern A, it means we have to connect subject with verb, and then if pattern B, we have to connect the subject with non-verb, such
Sorry,
as,
can you make it this one slowly because you don't explain to lower basic students, but this one pre-basic.
yeah.
How do you try to make them to understand about what you have just talked?
The first is when I just opened the class, I asked them about the difference between pattern A and pattern B. Then if they have an answer, I will make a
What is the
conclusion.
difference between pattern A and pattern B?
If pattern A, we should follow by verb, and then pattern B, we follow by non-verb, such as,
So this is something different like we just talked last time. I already told you, right? The differences between pattern A and pattern B.
yeah,
What's
pattern
that?
A, subject connects with verb, connect directly with verb, and then pattern B, subject connect directly with non-verb,
Yes.
such as noun, place, and adjective. And here we have pattern A, pattern B. It means subject should be followed or connect directly with non-verb.
Because when you explain to the students, you cannot use pattern C, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't understand when you use passive, something like that. Next.
Then I because this page talk about pattern B and this one talk about adjective. I think this one about adjective. Yeah. Oh, this one about noun. And then I ask them first, what is noun? And they will answer like kata benda miss. And then I ask the example. They usually they just mention book, uh, lion, and so on. And I tell them again like noun is can be a human or people, that thing, and also an animal and plant. So can you mention what is the example of a person or a human? And then they will answer like student, teacher, and then animal, and also that thing like that.
So how do you try to explain to students about pattern B of present perfect?
Uh,
How do you try to explain to the students about when do you use these tenses when you speak English?
okay, we use I talk to them, make a illustration like you are start study here since July on 2024, and then you still study until now. It means you already started in the past and then still continue until now. It's called, if that case, we can use present perfect tense. So it's something we start in the past and then still continue, or we still do it until now. And for pattern B, this one about noun, I just review again. There is a keyword of present perfect tense. They are have and has. So when we use have, I will ask them when we use have and has, for what subject should we use have or have, and then especially for pattern B, we have to use been. We have to put been after the have or has, especially for positive one. But if negative one, we have to follow.
What about if the students ask you about this? What is beam?
Ah, uh, especially for this one, for noun, I told them like Here bin means menjadi, or it can be berada for place. But this one talk about kata kerja, kata benda, right? So, or noun. Just and I see on their book it talk about human like menjadi the meaning in their book. So I told them like bin means menjadi in this pattern B plus noun.
So been here means menjadi
Yeah,
or
menjadi only.
menjadi.
Yeah.
So if I say I have been a doctor,
Oh, this one telah menjadi. So been here means menjadi, but have or has means telah.
I
Or
know. What about if this one? I have been sick.
oh, that's an adjective, right, sir? This one noun. Still discuss about noun. That's why I don't discuss yet about the adjective. Here in noun, the meaning, and I see on their book.
But because if you check this one, pattern B menghubungkan subjek dengan bukan kata kerja yaitu noun, adjective, and
Place.
place. I believe that we should explain this one directly to these three elements of
But because it's
non-verb.
yes, sir, but I look here, sir, like this kalimat positive plus noun directly, so I just discuss the meaning of being in noun sentence, in sentence that have noun like that.
Use the right light pen, please. The cable first, miss. The cable, the cable.
What happened?
Cable first.
Uh,
So,
should-
so what about that part? When you say the function, when, I mean, how do you explain what things that you need to explain about present perfect pattern B to your students? What do students have to remember?
the time indicator actually. This present perfect tense talk about that I told you before, like it start at in the past and then still continue until now. It means like this one, I have been a student means not only one, but he or she already started in the past. Like for example, you start here, you start be a student here, started on July 2024, and then still a student. You have been a student here until now. So I use the illustrations like that.
Like what? Sorry, repeat.
Um, I told them, I go to the example, like I have been a student here. Saya sudah menjadi siswa. It means you are not student just today, but you have started become a student in the past, and then start continue until now. Yeah.
This one is really complicated. That the complicated explanation for student for this pre-basic one student, which they cannot read some of them, a few of them, something like that. I mean, like, um, you should try to find out another way that use a better way for kid. So the first thing that you said just now, you only explain about the example.
Yeah, and then I give another example of that relate to yourself, like student and study.
Like
And
what?
for example, we start on 7, right? And then actually we go to this book 7 to 10, 7 past 10. And then I ask them, look at the time, and then what time is it now? What time is now? And then they will 7 past 10, miss, like that.
This one is explanation by you as a teacher and as an adult. All right. But now this is you try to explain for kid 6 years old.
Yeah.
All right. And then they will ask you about have has. They don't understand when do we use has, when do we use have. I mean, I have been a student, saya sudah menjadi siswa. So you just focus on um, the statement of sudah or belum first.
Yeah.
All right, just focus in this basic understanding first. All right, so when you want to say something that you have done or you have not done, you use has or have for present perfect.
Yeah.
The difference is in this pattern B, you must connect with non-verb. When you say saya sudah menjadi siswa, because you said you sudah, you already, yes, is that condition, so you must use have or has. So don't you try to explain about the the rule to use has or have over here?
Yeah, of course. I divided into subject first. I write down the subject, and then I write have and has. Then I told them write has for subject she it, and then have for subject are you me. And then if the subject is negative, I told them the meaning, like if have not means not sudah but belum.
Yes, I mean, like, I think I still cannot get it, your explanation. I mean, if I am lower basic student, I can get it. But even if I am lower basic students, I think if I was lower basic student, it's hard for me to catch what you mean. What about pre-basic? Pre-basic one. They want to learn this present perfect pattern B, but uh, this one is very hard to to uh, to understand. I mean, about the explanation that you give.
Um, so is there any other?
That's why you need to search it. All right, you have to formulate it. Like I mentioned, maybe you can start from the basic for the basic understanding of sudah or belum first. So, but sudah belum, but here connect with noun. So that's why we use been. Connect with adjective. Connect with place. That's why. So after you explain the definition, what is the next step?
I go to the formula, like for this positive one, we have to follow by subject first. We have to put the subject, and then followed by have or has, and then been and noun, like that. And goes to the example. I ask them to read one by one.
What?
I ask them to, after I explain about the formula, I go to the example. I ask them to read the example.
What formula? Can you explain the formula to me?
Formula? This one.
Yeah, I know that. And then how do you explain to the student?
First is we have to put subject, like are you wishing it, or noun. Like subject can be, like I said before, subject can be noun too, like people, human, or another thing, and then followed by has or have. If the subject only one, or are you Dewi, we have to use has, and then if the subject is she it, we have to use has, and then followed by been and noun.
All right. Next question. Exercise.
This one.
Yeah, how do you ask them to answer this?
First, I give an example. Like number one, I do together first number one, and then what is of saya, and then I write saya, and then sudah for subject. Again, I write the subject. Are you Dewi Shihid, and then I write has and have, and then I ask them like for subject I, what should we put or what should we use, have or has, and then they will look at the note that I have written here, and then they will answer like have means, and then I write have. Then look, after have or after has or have, we need to put been. Been means here menjadi. Then I put been, and then seorang, what is of seorang, and then siswa, student.
After that?
Then I ask them to do by themselves, like number 2 to 10 and number 2 to 5.
Don't you try to ask about difficult words that they don't know, maybe for number 2 until number 5,
Um,
before they do by themselves?
of course, like look, I ask them to finish the sentence first, and then if they find out the difficult
No,
words,
asking the difficult words should be done first before they do by themselves. Something like that.
yeah, yes.
And
Actually,
then,
yeah, actually there is a the noun here we have studied on the previous pages, but sometimes
but
they forget.
asking this one cannot be skipped.
Yeah.
And then what do you do after that? What's the next step?
And then I go to kalimat negatif. Uh, Actually, I check one by one first. So like, oh, this one is it in any mistakes like that, and then I go to kalimat negatif directly.
And then,
I explain again like for kalimat negatif, there is a keyword. What is the keyword for negative one? They will answer like not. Look here, we have formula again. So on kalimat negatif, you have to follow subject and has or have, and then we have to put not after has and have, and then followed by been and noun. Then I go to the example again, and I told them like after they finish the example, read the example, I ask them the meaning. What the meaning of has or have not here? And then they will write. They will write like, oh, belum. The meaning is belum, belum.
and then,
And then I go to the exercise again.
this one 2 hours, right?
Yeah,
How do you check their answer?
because the first I check them on the yearbook. The second, sometimes I for this time I check it after the class. I check after the class. So this one they do by yourself. The rest again 7 to 10, and then I goes to the negative, to the
Because
question.
since you only have 5 students, I believe that this one is not necessary to do this one after the class. You can make it in the class when they are doing the classwork. Because this one is not big class. A big class in lower basic one, I believe that you cannot catch up. But because this is only 5 students of the basic one, I hope the books are checked directly.
Yeah, I mean I check directly, sir, but I mean I finish answer the question first, and then when they talk, when they discuss about the mixed pattern, this one a little bit tricky, like sir, because it makes the pattern. When they do this, I check the rest, the previous
Okay, thank you.
question.
Next, we go to story fun.
Page ya? What page sir?
Page 16.
16. This.
Next,
Okay, gills and jellyfish. This one we have discussed on the last meeting. So I just ask them to. I will give them a few question about this story, like what animal that chosen by Ben, and what is who can answer Jilly's question, like that. And then I go to the exercise. Then here the exercise is write down the words in the correct box. It's about the small and big animals. So I asked them about the meaning first. What the meaning of bee, tiger, chicken, giraffe, zebra, and then lizard. And then they will answer.
so 16 until what page for story fun? Yeah, in your I see your LP here. Where you see your point? 16. Which one is 16?
This one 16.
And what are you doing for this? This is only exercise.
Yeah, but because this one the exercise relate to the story, I review the story like giving some,
Why you make the LP like this?
because it should be divided into two.
So that's why you have to combine passage with exercise. Why you exercise you split?
Uh, I don't know. I just
Why
I
you don't
think
know? I mean, you have to think smart means because this one, right? You the first 16 because 15 and 16 this one is connected each other, right?
yeah,
So why you split? So last week the passage, now the exercise.
yeah. But I give the exercise too.
Huh?
I give the exercise based on the story on quiz, and
So how do
also
you try to make it this?
this first I review some about the story, a little bit about the story. And then I goes to this one for this exercise. I ask them about the meaning first, and then they have to classify about the size. Is that the big animals or small animal?
And then
Then go to part B. Here, look and read. This one they need to read again, read the story, and then I ask them to find out the answer. Like number one, Jill's is Ben's sister, cousin, or friends. Actually,
so just try to pretend you explain to your students. How do you try to make sure that they follow your instruction here?
the first is I will read all the instruction like look and read. What the meaning of look? Look, they will answer like lihat, and then what is and dan read membaca or baca, and then choose the correct answer. Choose, pilih the correct words. What the meaning of correct words? Kata yang benar. Then I ask them, look, there are bold words here. You have to circle the best one or the correct one based on the story. You have to find out the answer from the story. Seals and jellyfish.
And then
And then I go to part C and so on.
number two, how do you explain to the students?
Okay, Nick Bensu chooses a zebra in the game. So who choose zebra in the game? You have to find out the words of zebra first. They have to scanning the story, like reading fast, read fast the story, and then find out the words of zebra, and then they will find out the answer.
How many exercise here? How many parts?
I think this one until H, until F, masa.
Hmm?
Until F.
How long do you give the duration and then how do you check them?
Because this one only 5 students, I, for example, like this one, sir. I just ask them to answer by themselves first, and then uh, I ask them to change their book to their friends,
What you mean?
change the book. So they have to change.
My question is how long do you
How
give
long?
the time for this story fun?
Uh, I don't give any specific time, but I will stop at least at um 7 what, 8 8:40, like 8:40 or 8:30, like that, because there is a special activity on that day.
On what?
On
Story fun.
oh no, this one gram translation, and I give only until 50, Sisa. So 8:50, 8:40, I mean 8:40.
And then
Then we discuss the answer. They will check the answer together.
when will you check the word project?
Uh, while they do the exercise like this, they will be busy of this question, and then I will check the word
Okay,
project.
next super kid.
This one what page? 12 ya, sir. On page 12 ya.
Yeah.
This one, sir. Our house. So the
Super Kids will be Unit 3 on Picnic, page 18 until 23.
18. Unit 3 picnic or weather?
This is you. Make it.
I read picnic.
Huh?
I read picnic.
On a Picnic, page 18 until 23.
It should be weather, sir.
That's your mistake, right?
Yeah.
Go now.
It's about weather, sir. I mistaken.
Continue.
So I asked we first I go with the title first weather, and then what the meaning of weather. On that time they don't know what is weather, so I give the example like sunny, and then I give example like winter, snowy, windy, and so on. I will ask the meaning first. What the meaning of windy? If they don't know and keep silent, I write the words like windy, and then I underline the wind, and then they will what the meaning of wind? And then they will answer like angin means. So windy means berangin. So there are some weather here, sunny, rainy, cloudy, and so on. So according to you, what is weather? Uh, they will answer like they will replay or mention the example again. So I just give the meaning like weather means cuaca, and then the example is like I told you before. Then after the title, I go to the pictures. I ask them like what we call this like that, and then what is this and so on. Then I will ask them to come in front, and then after we discuss about all the object that come or appear in this picture, I will ask one of them or some of them to come in front and then to point like which one is car and which one is picture like that. And then I go to the second one, second picture. I just do the same way, and then I go to this.
And then, by the way, we have the listening audio there.
Yes.
What will you do for this?
This one, the audio is for the dialogues. So I turn on the audio, and then after they listening, I ask them to read the dialogue.
And then?
And then I go to this exercise. They have to number the weather here by listening the audio too, and then I go to the story. So after this dialogue, they are a story too. The story, yes, the story talk about what's what is happening in the picture and what is the characters doing. Then I go to the command. Yeah, this one. I go to the statement or the command sentence.
What's that?
This one, first I ask them to read, to listen, and then I ask them to read. I actually after listen, I read first, and then I ask them to follow me, and then I ask them to read one by one together, and then I ask them to come in front, and then I will mention one of this command sentence like they have to point like open your umbrella, and then they have to point open your umbrella, and so on, so one by one. And then after that, I ask about the meaning. What is the meaning of put on your raincoat? Actually, usually they just keep silent. And then I ask them to look at the picture like, what is he doing here? Like this, what is he doing? Put on, oh, pakai means pakai. Raincoat, they don't know. So I just like, coat means just, and then rain is hujan. It means put on your coat means pakai jas hujan, and then I ask them to write down the meaning.
What does it mean of walk in the rain?
Berjalan di hujan.
I know that
Yeah.
walk in the rain, but I want you to explain in English, of course.
Oh, this one we walk, berjalan, or make a movement when raining.
Jump in the puddle.
It means a puddle, a compound of water, just like we see when every raining. Usually on the street there are a compound of waters. It coached by puddle, genangan in Indonesia. So them.
Next.
And then go to Singagram. This one I ask them one by one to answer to read. I mean, and then listen to the audio and try to follow the song or chant it. And then go to this. This one, they have to make a simple statement. For this one, they have to make a statement followed by looking at the example. I told them like it's this one. How to read this? I asked them to read this one first. It's windy. They will answer, and then I told them like it's actually seem like it is, but this one is the short form, so it become it's. And then I go to this. I choose one by one to make a sentence about the weather here. For example, when I choose foggy, they have to make a statement like
What is
it's
foggy?
berembun. It means like it's
Explain in English, please.
it's just like a smoke, but it's because of the weather. Actually, it come in snowy, and then usually it's look like a smoke like that. I told them.
So after that, after they are doing the exercise and getting an explanation, what will they do in your step of LP?
I go to the activity book. Activity
You
book.
don't try. You don't ask them to write down the vocabulary
Oh
that they got
yes,
in.
of course. So this one actually when we finish this one,
But you didn't tell me just now.
yeah, after they finish number this one, I
But
asked them
later,
to.
if I check their book is empty. There's nothing.
Yeah, last time, so I just asked them to write down the meaning
The meaning in English or
on
in
their
bahasa.
bahasa.
Okay, thank you. So what about your special activity for this week?
Forget. It's about arrange the word
So you want
pattern.
to say this one this week? You give the vocabulary of this in their notebook?
This one,
No, this is the LP of this week, right?
yeah,
So I want to ask you in Superkit, did you give this vocabulary to your students?
I think yes,
No, I think yes or no. That's not.
yes.
All right. Now we talk about the special activity. What did you do in this part?
That's about arrange the word jasa. I open the web. I already prepare a web about the special activity. I divide them into groups. I ask them who want to be a leader, and then the leader, and then the leader will choose their friend or their members. And I open the website, and then we play it.
Okay, thank you. Go to lower basic.